God. What's good? It's your boy Jihad El-AMIN here, behind this motivation, behind the scenes, getting ready to do our quote. I had to rethink of the quote. The announcements had came on in between, so I was listening to that. It's hot. Alrighty, here we go. Good morning. It's your brother Jihad El-AMIN, G4G, grinding for greatness, empowering your position. Where greatness is in your grind, and you have the power within you to push and propel you to whatever place or space you want to be in. Our motivation moment of today is every strike brought me closer to the next home run, Babe Ruth. Every time you strike out in life, don't look at it as an L, look at it as a loss, look at it as you should quit. It's just the next swing that's going to bring you closer to that next home run that you can knock it out of the park. You'll see where your mistakes are and you'll make adjustments. If nobody told you today, this week, this month, or this year, I love you, I believe in you, and we out. We're gonna roll with that one. But it's here behind the scenes, setting up on the big view. Still working on titling these to catch you a little more. Did you strike out? We'll go with that. We'll go with that one. But we here with the G4G program, motivational moments, the morning motivation, um, inspiration, education, behind the scenes. Um, this is the new classroom. I don't know if I ever talked about the fact that this is a different classroom. This is a new classroom. I'm at a different school. Um, I do math intervention for sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. Um, it's interesting. One, to be part of the related arts rotation. Um, and it's interesting to solely do intervention. Usually, I'm a core teacher, math teacher, and sometimes I do intervention along with being the math teacher. Um, so this is interesting to do it with solely just doing intervention. So I'm getting the kids that's below the 25th percentile mostly, depending on the school too. Some schools will do below the 10th percentile. I never been to a school that I can remember that did below the 50th percentile, because that would mean that the majority of their kids are on grade level above. So then they have to go higher to find the kids that need intervention, need that type of support. Um, but definitely had been in schools where they we did below the 10th percentile because it was just so many kids. Um, if we would have did the 25th percentile. And that's part of kind of what we're going to talk about today on the Instagram Live at 1:30. You can find us on Instagram at G4G underscore power in your position. Um, and on the Instagram Live, we're going to be talking about tips and stuff for parents. And the focus today will be the basics, making sure your kids got the basics. And what are the basics? Tune in so we could talk about it. Um, and it's important. It's important. I know a lot of people, and I've been on this kick because I do love motivational speakers. I love listening to coaches. I love having coaches. I love counseling. I love teaching. I love all that type of stuff. So I listen to a lot, and you hear a lot of people, billionaires, millionaires, who talk about how school is useless, school is pointless. You don't have to go to school. You don't need to go to school. And it's one thing you're telling adults that who are already either out of school, but it's another thing when you're telling kids that who fall below the 25th percentile or the 10th percentile or the 5th percentile, right? Um, because I always say, like, those people, even if they say they dyslexic, even if they say they was a bad student, even if they say they dropped out of middle school, it's no way you made $1 billion. Especially if you didn't get it, like somebody didn't give it to you. You made $1 billion and maintaining having $1 billion, and you can't read, write, or do arithmetic at a K through eighth grade level, at least, right? I don't know if you're a billionaire who actually made $1 billion, but you rewrite and do arithmetic on a first grade level. If you are, I would love to meet you, love to talk to you, love to see how you did it. Um, but in the world we live in, you at least have to be able to function at an eighth grade level, at least, right? I remember Dr. Braggs would always say they write Reader's Digest at an eighth grade level, right? So if you could read Reader's Digest and understand what it's saying, then you basically could function and reading at an eighth grade level. Um, I also found out here in town, like Oak Ridge Laboratories was trying to hire like security guards or something, and part of the hiring process was you had to take a math test. It was basically from eighth grade down, and it was a struggle finding people who could pass that test. And it was a well-paying job, well-benefit job too, with opportunity for growth. But they couldn't find people who could pass that test. I remember having lunch or at a birthday dinner, and I met a guy who had a car company. He like I want to say, I don't know if he restored cars, um, but he had a big car company. He did something with cars. He was out in California. He moved his business from California to Tennessee. One, tax breaks. Um, just cost of living was different. All of that type of stuff. So he moved his car company here. Maybe roughly staffed. If his company was fully staffed, maybe 20, over 20 or a little over 20, some people he would hire. He brought a couple staff with him from California. Some of the guys that worked with him in California, he brought with him. But he was saying he was struggling finding people who he could hire to do the work. And a lot of it was because they couldn't be trained. It wasn't that they didn't have the training, right? But then it was hard to even get people who could grasp and master the training that they were getting, right? He was still struggling with finding people. And he actually paid well. He actually paid really well because he still was paying closely to what he was paying somebody to survive in California and Tennessee, which the cost of living is different from California to Tennessee. So, uh, it's interesting. These things are interesting to me. So we will be talking about tips for parents and tune in Instagram Live G4G underscore power in your position. You also can follow me on Facebook at Jihad El-AMIN. You also can follow me on Facebook at G4G Power in Your Position group. You can join the group. It's a village. Whatever you're doing, we love to celebrate and support and get your message out. Um, because I believe, you have village made millionaires and billionaires, you have village made successful people. Self made is somewhat of a myth. If you built a product, you couldn't sell it to yourself. It's people who got to buy it who support you, who either need it, want it, or wish they had it, um, and believe in you, support you, either know who you are and like you, or don't know who you are and support your product. So it's support that's around you that make you great. Anyway, we gonna log out of here. Um, if you didn't know, you are special. All of your DNA, chromosomes, electrons, neutrons, RNA, all of those things that make you you, make you unique, make you important in this space and time. The world needs you. It wouldn't be the same without you. And share that with other people to help them become great. And I love you. I believe in you. And we out.